Hi guys, I hope you are all doing well. Let's see today's question. So today's question we are taking this up from the topic of sequence and series. And if I talk about the question which is given to us here, the question tells us statement 1, sum of the series 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 9 plus 9 plus 12 plus 16, and this goes on till 361, 380, and 400. So that's the term given to me, and we have been told sum of this entire list is 8,000. So that's the list given to us. And statement 2, it's telling us summation of k equals 1 to n is k cube minus k minus 1 the whole cube. So summation of this entire expression is given to us as n cube, and that's valid for any natural number n. So n basically belongs to a natural number. And if I talk about answer choices that are given to us, they are first, it's telling us statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. Second, it is telling us statement 1 is true, statement 2 is also true. So both of them true. And we have been given statement 2 is a correct explanation for statement 1. Next, statement 1 is true and 2 is also true, and it is telling us statement 2 is not correct explanation for statement 1, and the last answer choice given to us here is statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. So these are the four answer choices given to us. And if I talk about how to solve this question, let's see that. So statement 1, I have been given that I need to find the sum of this equals 8,000. So let's identify whether the statement is true or false. So if I see that terms I have, 1 I can write as 0 plus 0 plus 1. I'm just trying to write it in the form of three terms because it is given to us as three terms in every time. Then you have 1, 2, 4 added. Then you have 4, 6, 9 added. Then you have 9, 12, and 16 added. And likewise till the last term 361, 380, and 400. So if I try to rearrange these terms, if I try to rearrange it, let's write all of the terms here from the first part. So I'm writing first term from every bracket I had. So if I write that, I get it as 0, 1, 4, 9, 361. Then, if I write the second part of each bracket together, 0, 2, 6, 12 till 380. So 0, 2, 6, 12 till 380. And the third part, if I try to write it, I have 1, 4, 9, 16. This goes on till 400. So 1, 4, 9, 16. This goes on till 400. Now, if I try to frame my equation, let's see. So if I try to write this in the form of a pattern that is being followed, I can write this as the first bracket as it's 0 square, 1 square, this becomes 2 square, 3 square, and this goes on till 19 square. The second bracket, if I try to reframe in the pattern, I can write that as 0, I can write as 0 into 1. 2, if I try to write it in the same form, I can write that as 1 into 2, 6 as 2 into 3, 12 as 3 into 4, and this goes on and continues till the last term. I can write that as 19 into 20. The last bracket, I can write that as 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, and the last 20 square. Now I have to find the sum of all of these patterns that are being developed. So let's write the nth term for this sequence. So once I get the nth term, I can just find the sum easily by using the formula for Sn. So nth term, if I try to write it, I know for the first term it is square of 0. For the second term it is square of 1. For the third term it is square of 2. So every term, if I'm talking about, I have one less value here in the base. So I can write that as n minus 1 the whole square. So if I'm starting from n equals to 1, it becomes 1 minus 1 square, 2 minus 1 square, and likewise. So I am writing my first bracket in this form. Next, if I'm again talking about the first term, this becomes 1 lesser, so n minus 1, multiplied with that same term, so n. Again, if you write the second term, it is n minus 1, so second minus 1, so 2 minus 1, 1, and the second term, which is and the last part, last bracket, I can just write it as n square. Because whatever term number we are talking about, we have the square of that particular term. So we get Tn as well. That is your nth term. Now, once I have the value of Tn with me, let's try to solve this further. So if I try to write it, n minus 1 the whole square plus n minus 1 into n plus n square. Now, once I have this, I try to reframe it. I can reframe it as, let's say n minus 1 is a and n is b. So I can see it is a square plus ab plus b square. And when I get this form of a square plus ab plus b square, I understand it is of the formula a cube minus b cube, which is a minus b, a square plus ab plus b square. So I can write that a square plus ab plus b square as a cube minus b cube over a minus b. So if I try to reframe this En, I can write that as n minus 1 the whole cube minus n cube over n minus 1 minus. And from here, if I solve this further, I get n minus 1 the whole cube minus n cube over. This becomes n minus 1 minus n. So this and this gets cancelled and you get minus 1 in the denominator. So if I multiply or divide this entire numerator by minus 1, I get this turning out to become n cube minus n minus 1. So now I have my nth term in the form of n cube minus n minus 1 the whole cube. But what I need to find in the statement 1 is not the nth term, it is sum of all of these n terms. So if I just apply the idea of sum of n terms, so I know summation of k starts from 1 and let's say it goes till n. You have the expression n cube minus n minus 1 the whole cube. But here we are rooting for the values of k from 1 to n. So instead of n now, I'll just put k. So I get k cube minus k minus 1 the whole cube. So you have this entire thing as your formula for Sn for the statement 1. But if you see, you have been given in statement 1 that the sum of that is 8,000. 8,000 becomes equals to summation of k equals 1 to n, k cube minus k minus 1 the whole cube. You get this. Now, if I use the idea that is given in statement 2, that says summation of k equals to 1 to n k cube minus k minus 1 the whole cube, it is nothing but equal to n cube when your values of k goes from 1 to n. So if I just use that idea, I can replace this entire thing by n cube. So I'm using it from statement 2. So you get n cube is 8,000, and when you have n cube with us, you get n cube is 8,000, which is 20 cube, and from there you get n as 20. So I get the understanding that n is equal to 20, and if I see it was told to me n belongs to a natural number, so yes, n also belongs to a natural number. So now we get n is equal to 20. Let's put n as 1, 2, 3 till 20 in my tree, and let's verify that. So we had our Tn as n cube minus n minus 1 the whole cube. So let's verify that. So I get here, if I put n as 1, 2, 3 till 20. Let's see if my sum becomes 8,000 so that my first statement gets verified. So if I put n as 1, t1 becomes n cube minus n minus 1 the whole cube. So it becomes 1 cube minus 1 minus 1, so 0 cube. Second term becomes 2 cube minus 1 cube. Third term becomes 3 cube minus 2 cube. Fourth term becomes 4 cube minus 3 cube. Now what I see here is there is a pattern being developed that each term first part becomes equal to the next term second part, and both of them have opposite signs. So if this is positive, this is having a negative sign. And likewise till 20th term, I will have that as 20 cube minus 90. So when I add all of that, because I need sum of all of these 20 terms, so if I'm adding this, I am adding my right hand sides as well. And if I'm adding my right hand side as well, I know this and this having an opposite sign gets cancelled. So all of these terms are going to get cancelled only except 20 cube and 0 cube. And that gives you 8,000 minus 0, and that is 8,000. So once you get the value of n as 20, you just put that in the expression of en and add all of them. So you get Sn, and that sum comes out to become 8,000, and that tells you statement 1 is true. And we got the value of n from this statement 2. So statement 2 is also true. Both of them are true, means you cancel out your answer choices A and D. You're left with B and C. And if you see, we use the idea of statement 2 in the statement 1 to get my value of n that is possible here, that is 20. So statement 2 provides the correct explanation for statement 1, so that we use that idea to find whether the two statements are true or false. If this is also not a correct statement, and you get the answer for the question. Option B. So B becomes a correct answer for the question given to us. I hope you have understood how to solve this type of questions, which deals with the ideas of finding whether the statements are true or false. I'll see you again tomorrow with some other question from some other topic, and we are going to continue our series of questions on JEE mains. So stay tuned for more videos to roll out. Also, if you're enjoying these videos that we are doing every day, please do like the videos and do support on the channel. Also, subscribe to my channel and share these videos with your friends also who are involved in the preparation of questions on JEE, so they can also take the help from the questions which we are solving on everyday basis. See you again tomorrow with one other video. Thank you.